That's a heck of a way to snap that losing streak. My goodness, baseball is a crazy game. We see something new almost every day. Wow. Eli White, what a lifesaver you are. MVP right there. Padres win 2-1. Manny with that homer late. That was awesome. He's been, and deservedly so, taking a lot of heat recently for his performance, obviously, with the contract that he has. And he's one of the best players on this team, future Hall of Famer. And during this losing streak, shocker, Manny hasn't been doing that great. Today, though, has that homer. Gavin Sheets. I mean, where would this Padres team be without Gavin Sheets? One of those cool stories just in Major League Baseball in general this season, how the White Sox didn't want him. The White Sox. And he comes to the Padres, Victor Rodriguez, like from day one in spring training. They're working together. And Gavin Sheets, he's swinging now. I think he was talking about that in spring training, or at least at the beginning of the season, how he's just swinging. He's not really thinking about much now, and it just freed him up. So it's been really fun to watch him. Obviously, Acuna came back for the Braves, and of course, it has to be during the Padres series to open up the Padres series. And Pavetta, that pitch to Acuna, I mean, that was batting practice, especially with Pavetta's arm angle. It's just like perfect batting practice for that homer. But really, like, all I care about is the Padres won the game. Ultimately, that's what matters. Does it have to be the prettiest win? No, it doesn't. I really don't care, especially when they're on a 6-game losing streak. Just win the freaking game, and that's what they did. And did the Braves maybe give it to them a little bit there in a way that we're never going to see again? Probably, yeah. But I don't care. It's a win. I'm gonna laugh my butt off at it. I mean, holy cow. I was listening to it on the radio, so I had a different perspective than those that were watching on TV. If you're watching this game, you were probably like jumping out of your chair, like or your couch or wherever you were, like, holy crap, what the heck is going on? What is this base runner doing? Because that ball, listening on the radio, I couldn't totally tell like how close it was to being a single or how close it was to Merrill catching the ball. It wasn't even close. It was just a regular single to center field dropping in, and not even dropping in because that makes it kind of seem like Merrill maybe was close to it. Like, it was just a regular single to center field, and the third base coach has both hands up, just regular, like, stop right there at third base. He wasn't yelling, like, there was no hand signal of go back, go back, go back, go back, you know, waving his hands towards second. He just had both hands up like normal, like, yep, stop right here. And like mid slide, Eli White goes and runs back to second base. And why is this such a big deal? Well, because the Padres were up 2-1 at that point in the last inning of this game, and that's the run in scoring position. And you have a runner on third there with 1 out instead of 2 outs, and then you don't have a runner in scoring position anymore. Actually, it would have been 90 feet away. And obviously, who knows what happens there. But yeah, like, what the heck? He clearly thought that the third base coach was telling him to go back to second base because I assume that Eli White saw it off the bat that, okay, it's to center field. Maybe he didn't know how shallow or how deep, in this case, how deep Merrill was playing. And he just brain farts, I guess, and he starts running back to second base. Ozzy Albies is just like mind blown. What the heck's going on? I thought it was freaking hilarious. The third base coach in the middle of the play, I posted the screenshot on my Twitter, so you can go look at that. But as Eli White is in the middle of second and third, running back, like full speed, trying to run back to second base, the third base coach has his hands up, like, "What are you doing? I didn't say to go back." You got Padres players pointing, like, "Hey, throw it to second." Luis Arraez, I did not notice this the first time I watched this play, but he deserves a ton of credit. Like, this is like Derek Jeter almost. You know, obviously the flip play and all that. Um, that gets talked about a ton and gets talked about to this day as like the highlight of Jeter's defensive career, and he wasn't that great defensively, numbers wise. And this, you could say the same about Luis Arraez, right? He's not known for his defense, but he comes flying in, seeing because he's at first, so he can see. It's not like his back's turned like Manny at third a little bit. Arraez can see that Eli White's running back to second base, so he darts in. Merrill makes the throw to, try to gun down the runner at home or just get it in so that the runner not he wouldn't be gunning down the runner at home because the runner wasn't going to go home anyway, but just get the ball into the infield. And so Arraez notices, like, no, we can pick this guy off. So he comes running in. Go watch the video if you didn't watch it. He comes running in behind the mound, gets the ball, turns, throws to second base to get the runner out. I mean, Arraez deserves a lot of credit on that play. And hopefully, people on sports talk radio and all that, they will be giving Arraez credit there. Obviously, this play should have never happened because Eli White should have just been at third base. But Luis Arraez, again, flying in on that play. Like, this is amazing. I'm watching it right now. Single, Merrill's not even close. He throws it in, and Arraez flies in, spin, throw to Bogarts, and just gets him right at the tag, and the runner's out. And you look at the Braves dugout, and they just can't believe it. I'm sure in the Padres clubhouse right now, they're laughing their butts off watching this play. Like, what the heck? What did they just give us? But I mean, Manny still hit the homer to take the lead. Like, you got to give credit there, obviously. And it's his homer is going to get overshadowed by the dumbness of this play, probably. But it's because this is something that we're not going to see again, probably. Just like we're not going to see Manny's 3 errors in 1 inning, like he did in that Toronto series. So just a wacky week. I'm glad that the Padres got this win. That's all that matters. You did this win. They're 28-21 now. Beat a Braves team in a game Chris Sale started, and they got Acuna back. That's pretty nice to beat a Braves team under those circumstances. And Chris Sale, I mean, it's not like they beat Chris Sale. He went 7 innings, he had 1 run, the 1 homer to Gavin Sheets, walked 1 guy, struck out 6. But Manny, who had struggled against Raisel Iglesias in his career, by the way. I don't know if he was over, but I think he had 4 strikeouts against him. I think that's what Jesse was saying on the radio broadcast, and he homers. Padres got the advantage against Marcell Ozuna, I believe the half inning before, with Jason Adam on the mound. Jason Adam got him to fly out. But yeah, wow. Nick Pivetta, 6 innings, 1 run. There was a little bit more of like maybe they're stealing signs, the Braves, a little bit, because they had that mound visit, and then Pivetta got the strikeout, and he didn't like stare down. I think it was Austin Riley on second. He didn't stare down Austin Riley, but he was definitely pumped up and had that turn and towards like the second base direction. Again, I don't think he was looking at anyone. That's just how naturally he turned. But he loved seeing the pumped up Nick Pivetta. If there's pessimistic Padres fans, they will probably say the Padres, they went 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. Like, they didn't have a great day. But what I would say is they're facing Chris Sale. They're not facing Joe Blow or whoever, So I'd just be happy about a Padres win. And, we've been talking a lot about the negatives here. How about we just be happy that the Padres won a game, because the whole objective of baseball is to win, right? That's how I get joy, is the Padres winning baseball games. Like, I'm happy tonight, and I'm going to be laughing my butt off at what we saw late in that game. Just crazy. Crazy. Like, that's something like a little leaguer would do. They're running to third, and they see their coach put up arms, and they have no idea what that means. So they just, I guess I should turn around. But like, he slid before third base, like right when he saw the hands up, essentially, I feel like is when he did it. Because again, it was before third. He didn't slide into third and then go back before third. So he was just on dirt, slid, and then went back to second base. Total like brain fart on his part, miscommunication. I don't know if the third base coach normally puts one arm up and then he points to third if he wants you to stay at third on a single like that. And he didn't do that, so that threw off Eli White. But it's got to be a terrible feeling if you're Eli White. It's a stay off social media night for him. Probably stay off social media weekend for him. That's got to be rough. Obviously, he wasn't trying to do that, and he's got to feel so bad about that. But we're Padres fans, so we're happy about it. And it's a play, when I saw that, when I got home because I was listening on the radio. When I saw that, I was just laughing at how that happened and how it wasn't even close to being a single to Jackson in center. Not even close. Or it wasn't close to being an out, I should say. Sorry. It was obviously a single to center field. And you got the third base coach with his arms up, like, what are you doing? It leaves me a little speechless here at the end. Like, it's just crazy. That's crazy that happened.